This is going to be a game room tour for 2024. Now, the last room tour I did was in the basement of the house that we were renting. We've finally moved. We've purchased a home. And thankfully, this house has a finished basement. So I'm super excited to have my collection in a place that's more fitting and deserving of the space that it's in, because it was kind of tough making an unfinished basement work, especially with like the size of that collection. I did my best with it. I had a lot of, sheets covering the walls so you wouldn't see the insulation. And I put down like gym mat flooring so that it wouldn't be hard concrete. I did my best with what I had. And now that we have our own home that's ours and has a finished basement, I can properly display the collection and get wall art and memorabilia and stuff like that, and really, really feel proud of the space. Not that I wasn't proud of it before, but like it hits different when it's your own space. You know what I mean? Again, as before, it's in a basement, so we're going to go ahead and head down. This is probably 5 years in the making. I started just before COVID. I had a bit of a collection to begin with from when I was a child, but not a lot of stuff, maybe like 200-300 games. So the majority of what you're going to see has been over the last 5 years or so. Again, we only moved in about 3 weeks ago. I still have some boxes I need to unpack and like put on shelves. There's some like kitchen stuff that we're waiting on another little pantry to put away all like the snacks and stuff like that. There was a little bit more cupboard space at the other house in the kitchen than there is here, but we'll make it work. So again, these boxes will be going away. Over here's our PC setup. So at the bottom of the stairs here, there's a like little office area. And this is where our computers are. So hers is over here. Mine's over here. And in behind this door here is the game room. So here it is. So again, I have walls, I have a ceiling, I have flooring. I can now buy memorabilia. So I got these for my birthday in December, and they're the first two pieces of art that I've hung up. I plan to get a lot more. Down here we have my welcome mat. Underneath here is just storage and the sump pump. And then in here is like a utility room and some more storage on the other side there. Walking into the room, we got PlayStation on the left, going to Nintendo, and then going to Sega. Over here is Xbox. And then here is that cabinet, if you remember from the last one, where I have all my like special games that are special to me. So not super rare or super expensive. I mean, the majority of them are. Like Silent Hill is a pretty decently expensive game, but these are all my favorites. So my favorite franchises is Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy 7 in particular. So like every time a game comes out, I buy a sealed version of it, and then I get the game digitally. So like there's all my Silent Hill stuff down there. I have every version of Final Fantasy 7 from every region, all the misprints. Big fan of that. Complete in box Metal Gears, all the special edition Metal Gears. They come with that one there comes with a shirt and dog tags and everything else from the launch of MGS1 on PS1. There's like all the rest of my Metal Gear stuff, more Final Fantasy 7. All this needs to get set up and displayed. I haven't gotten around to it. Over here is the retro corner. We'll quickly turn these on just to have sort of a demo going. Oh, that doesn't belong up there. That goes right here. Perfect-ish. There we go. Again, it's a work in progress. It's mostly set up and mostly done, but I'm gonna tweak it and organize and yada yada yada. I want to get it set up quick, just so I can start enjoying it and then focus on other stuff too. And we ended up setting up the whole house first. Then I came down here and did this, but still, it's gonna take time. We've only been here about 3 weeks, like I said. So over here is where all the retro gaming happens. So I got a 32-inch Sony Wega Trinitron. It's a 1080i television. I got everything hooked up through a component switch that can run component. And then everything else is ran through the TV. So like S-Video, there's a few of those. N64, NES, Super Nintendo, all of that is all hooked up. There's those scissors. I've been looking for these. All right, sweet. I'm gonna put them there and forget I put them there and end up being lost again. But yeah, so everything's hooked up. Over here is the PlayStation section. So I got all my PS1 collection, plus like games that I really enjoy, like all the Working Designs games. I really like those because I really like the art that they have on them. Like they always make really fancy boxes. Plus their games are really good. Probably one of my favorite games ever right here, Xenogears, right next to Final Fantasy VII. This would probably be top 3 would be 7, Xenogears, and Legend of Dragoon. That's another really good one. Parasite Eve's all down there. What else? PS2's down here. My Grails for PS2 are up here. Kuon, Rule of Rose, and Haunting Ground, as well as my Grails for PS1. So like Persona 1, Persona 2, Clock Tower 2. This isn't a super rare game, but it's the only long box game I have, and I really like the Resident Evil series, so I have that up on display as well. And I have, you know, more Resident Evil stuff here. More rare games. Some big titles down here. Just not up on display at the moment. What else? I like to have the boxes for the systems and then like the rare games for them up with them. So like I said, PS1's got all the PS1 rare games I have. Up there is for PS2, which, you know, sort of shares the space. PS3 right here, this is a complete in box 80 gig backwards compatible model. And then I have my original 60 gig backwards compatible that I bought on day one. That's over there. Painkillers, a pretty good game, or a pretty rare, pretty expensive game for PS3. I don't really have anything of mention for PS4. Poop Slinger would be the grail, but it's probably not going to happen. Maybe one day, but I don't know. We'll see. Chances are no. It's very expensive. So PS4 collection's there. Then we're moving down to PS3. Pretty good size. I'd say PS3 and PS2 are probably my larger collections. I'd say probably about even. That's all PS2. That's all PS2. Or PS3 is all there. But that's all that. Down there, more PS2. Over here, PS5. Pretty good selection there. I tend to just grab games off Amazon because they drop down pretty cheap. And then you get a bunch of them. And I just usually do that. Like the majority of these are sealed. I play what I like to play. And I just buy them if I find them cheap just to add to the collection. Down here, PS Vita. I don't have a ton. I'd like to get more of them. It's hard to keep track of what I have. I do need to catalog everything so that when I'm at a store, I can go, oh, okay, I don't have this. I tend to just take photos of each section and then look through it, and I sometimes miss things, which is unfortunate. PSP, that's another pretty decently sized set that I have. This is all PSP here, down here. It was full at the other house in the other setup, but here, the way I've rearranged everything, I ended up with more space, so I'm excited to add more to that. And then there's like some of the top games, like Persona 3, I think is the rarest game for that system. There's the Third Birthday, which is the third Parasite Eve, a Lunar, and what's this? This is Obscure, which is like one of the top 5 rarest PS2 games, which I have there, and the Aftermath. Then I think it's, what's that other one? Blood Will Tell, and then those are the top 3. Over here, we're moving on to Wii U. So that's my Wii U collection. This is the rarest Wii U game. This is a sealed copy of Devil's Third. Then I have a sealed copy of Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Not really a rare game, but they released it briefly. And if you manage to grab one at the time that it was out, you've probably made some money on it. It's about a $200 game right now. I don't know of any Grail for the Switch yet, so that's kind of what I have on display. This is a more expensive Wii game, Rhythm Heaven Fever. Never played it, grabbed it because it's up there on the list. And that's pretty much the only game of value I have for Wii. Most of it's just shovelware. I have all like the, you know, the ones you would want to have, but Yeah, wasn't a huge fan of the system. I like it because I can play my GameCube games with a component cable and not have to spend $1,000 on a component cable for GameCube. So I like the Wii for that. So that's all that. Over here, Super Nintendo, Aero Fighters, probably one of the more expensive games I have for that system. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 3. I still need a copy of Final Fantasy 2. I've yet to find one complete in box. I have a cart, but I don't have the game or a CAB copy of it. Down here, more games. You know, some more expensive ones over there. Nothing crazy. Down there's my loose cart collection. Moving on down, there's 3DS, DS, Game Boy. Nothing really of mention. Just a lot of the, you know, the ones you'd want to have. Or at least like the, you know, the big common ones. Over here, N64. This is probably the focal point of my collection. Just because it's in the corner and, you know, I have all the Funtastics lit up and everything else. And, you know, the top 5 rarest games. On this side, I have all my loose carts. I like to have a loose cart and a complete in box. So, like, Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are right here. And then, you know, there's Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie's down here somewhere. Just so I don't open the boxes or ever have to, like, touch them. I want to keep them in good shape just because they're cardboard. So opening and closing, like, you're going to wear them out. It's not like these hard plastic cases for the rest of the stuff. So I like to have loose carts and complete in box carts. So I'm kind of going for a full set of each. I know it's going to take forever and it's going to cost a fortune, but, you know, I got the top 5 out of the way, which are the big expensive ones. So everything else is sort of like reasonable. Same with these. These are another, like, you know, decent money games. And then, you know, down here, there's some other stuff like Kirby's Crystal Shards is a decent amount. That PGA Euro Tour game's expensive. Pokemon Stadium 2. Like, there's a lot of expensive games down there, but these would probably be the most expensive complete in box ones that I have. Over here, GameCube. So Pokemon Box is the grail for GameCube. I also got like Fire Emblem down there. That's another high dollar GameCube game. All the Resident Evils, Code Veronica, or at least when I got it, was very expensive. I'm not sure what it is now. You know, and all the Legends of Zeldas, all the Mario Parties, Paper Mario, the Pokemon Gale of Darkness, all that stuff. Got all those. Pretty good sized GameCube collection. Just picked this up today off Marketplace. Pretty happy with that. Wasn't very expensive, so I got a good deal. And yeah, down there I have the Japanese version of Mario Party. All of them. Over here is my Nintendo collection. I don't have a lot of games. I have some up on display up top. Nothing crazy. Just, I'd like to collect more for the system. I really don't play it. It's hooked up and it's ready to go, but yeah, I don't know. Nothing's, I grew up with the Genesis. I had the game, the NES, but the Genesis is the system that I, like when I really liked playing games, I remember having that. That's what I grew up with, so I like collecting for that more. Over here is my Virtual Boy kind of grail section. So the rarest game for Virtual Boy is Jack Bros, and that's right there. That's a authentic cart and manual. And in the back is a repro box. I'm trying to find a real one that's in good shape that I can buy and then combine all of it and make a complete box version. So I just have this placeholder repro box for now. Over here is Waterworld. That's the second rarest Virtual Boy game. That's a real cart and manual. I have those on display in Super Nintendo cartridge holders. So I thought that looked pretty cool. There's all my Funtastics, so every version. Smoke Gray, Grape Purple, Ice Blue, Jungle Green, Fire Orange, and Watermelon Red. Over here, I have my North American Toys R Us exclusive Pikachu N64, and then the Japanese version of the same N64, just orange. These are like super mint. The stickers are still on there everywhere, or everything. I believe it was probably just a display piece because the joysticks are super tight. They've never been played from the looks of it. I don't have the box, paperwork, all that stuff, just the systems. So those are on display in there. Down here is a complete in box Game Boy with Tetris. Then this is the Game Boy Color you could get from the Pokemon Center in Japan. That was the only place you could get that. And then this is the Pikachu Game Boy Color that you could get in North America. Those two are first print red and blue Pokemon, fully complete. And then this is a third print Pokemon Yellow, fully complete. The way you can tell is first prints have the pixelated E, like that. Third prints have the solid E, and second prints have no rating at all. There's also writing on the side that talks about the type of material the box is made out of and the percentage of it that's recyclable. That's another way you can tell the difference between each print series. Down at the bottom is my Virtual Boy. I have another 8 games down here. One is sealed, one is not. I think there's 14 games in the library, so I'm missing, what do I got, 10? So I'm missing 4 games to complete that library. Over here is where the modern consoles are played. So this is a 4K TV. All the HDMI era consoles are here. So like 360, PS3 and up. There's my Switch original, my Switch OLED, Wii U, PS4 Pro, PS3, PS5, Series Xbox One X, One S, 360 Slim. Over here is the Sega section. Probably like my favorite section because I was a Sega kid growing up, so I love all this stuff. Over here is Sega Master System. One of the rarest games for the Master System is Sonic the Hedgehog. It only came out in Europe, and it was never sold here because Sonic already came out on Genesis. So it already existed in North America on a 16-bit system and was released later on in Europe on an 8-bit system. So they sold very few of them, and it never came to North America. A handful did, and you can tell the difference with them by the UPC code here. That would be a sticker on the outside of the box, whereas this is printed on the thing. So this is from Europe, and this has all 7 variations of manuals. You can get them in a different color, like just random, whatever color you got. So this is like untouched, unplayed, and has every manual variant. So it's not a super expensive game. Like I think I paid 130 euros. Just because it's mint, like it's perfect and has every manual variant with it. But if you get it with the UPC code on the back, which I'd like to one day, it's about $1,000 game. But the rarest game for this system, I think, is it's a boxing game. I forget the name of it, but it's the rarest, most expensive game on the system. And then down there is all of my Master System games, and I have some overflow of sports games from Genesis. Here's the Genesis section. So these are the top 2 rarest games, Crusader of Senti and Musha. And then Splatterhouse 2 and 3 are just 2 favorite games of mine from childhood. And they're also like super mint. So I have them up there on display as well. And then, like all the other top stuff. Not a ton of games. I would like to get more, but currently, my shelves are full and overflowing elsewhere. So I'm going to have to double up, get another shelf, and then just figure out how to display the boxes. Or I might move all this into the center because we have 6. No, we have 7. And just sort of make the display in the center so I can do both sides, then go up and then have like the boxes up top. Again, like this, I have so much more space to work with that over time, this will probably change. I'll play around with it and figure it out. Over here is the complete 32X North American set. So all 36 games. There's some doubles that I got previously and then ended up getting condition upgrades and so on and so forth. Like there's repro boxes, and then I ended up getting real boxes, missing manuals. So I buy them complete. So I have some extras, like I have 1, 2, and another one coming that's fully complete with reg cards. So I'll have 3 RBI baseballs. Stuff like I need to take this stuff, all my extras, and sell them because they're just filling up shelves, and I don't need them for the collection. But again, the 2 top games are Spider-Man, Web of Fire, and Blackthorn, as well as I'm pretty sure the second rarest game is World Series Baseball. I have the box for it, but it's a cut box. This is supposed to be a cardboard box like these. They cut the box, put it into a sleeve. So that's the original packaging, but like destroyed, essentially. Kind of like this Crusader of Senti. This is a cut box version, and then I got a conditioned upgrade version that's cardboard and everything else. So I have 2 of those. But same thing with that. So I do want to get a box manual and complete that essentially. But down here is my Game Gear collection. I'm trying to get all the accessories as well. And also these are all sealed. So I'm starting to collect a sealed Game Gear set because it's pretty inexpensive. Like most games are under 20 bucks and get them sealed. Like this is about a $500 game. And that's probably my rarest game for the Game Gear. I think the rarest game is Mega Man. Moving on, Sega CD, top games, Snatcher, Kill Flying Squadron, and Popful Mail. I don't want this to be too long, so I'm gonna start speeding up here. Here's the rest of the set. Over here, Saturn, that's a complete in-box Saturn, as well as another Saturn I have over there that I play. Panzer Dragoon Saga, Magic Knight Rayarth. And there's the rest. I really like Saturn. I wanted it growing up, never got one. So I was disappointed about that. And when I finally did get one, it was already canceled and there were no games. And I couldn't really enjoy the system the way it was meant to be enjoyed. Dreamcast. This is a brand new in-box Dreamcast. They never sealed these with a sticker or anything. And the box is kind of rough. But inside is fully sealed, never touched, never played. Came with a brand new controller as well as memory card unit and rumble pack too when I got that. Top 2 games, Ill Bleed and Cannon Spike. And then here's the rest of my collection. Some Japanese there as well. All the different versions of Shenmue, like Shenmue US, which was Shenmue from North America, but released in Japan with Japanese subtitles, but English voiceovers. So kind of weird. It's essentially the opposite of this game, but released for them. Over here, original Xbox, Futurama and Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. Those are like the 2 rare games. Teen Titans, another one I'd say would be in the top 3. I don't have that, but I do have 2 of these. The thing that makes this one so expensive is the Ferrari sticker on the front. The little reflective sticker there. That's where all the money is. My original copy, someone peeled it off. And so when I found this one with it still on there, I bought that as a condition upgrade and moved this one down onto the shelf. Over here, Xbox One, Xbox 360. There's nothing really to mention rarity-wise for Xbox One. NCAA Football 14 is probably like the rarest 360 title that I have. And then I have, you know, a few others that are like $100 games like Splatterhouse and Blood on the Sand, stuff like that. It's mostly just a filler title series or system. There's not a lot of standout 360 games. And then my Xbox mini fridge, which lights up. And then over here is my theater room area. So let me just get this going again. So my setup over here is all Klipsch audio. It's a 9.1 setup with Dolby Atmos. The projector is a BenQ TK1700 STI, which is a 4K 120 hertz HDR DLP projector. So that's what I'm using there. It's about a 14-foot screen, but it's also just the wall. I also have lights on too, which, you know, kind of washes out the image on camera, but in person it's super bright, super vivid. You get good blacks, good contrast because it's sort of like a grayish paint on the wall. So I lucked out with that. And then the trim is just a 2-inch thick Velcro. So I took the soft side of a Velcro strip and then stuck it to the wall and then used that as a frame. So it gives the illusion that it's a screen, but it's really just the wall. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then this is sort of our theater room setup. There's some more speakers I need to replace. Like I have for my rear height Atmos speakers, I'm using these Onkios that I bought off Marketplace a while ago. And I'm slowly replacing everything with Klipsch. So, and then my receiver is a Denon 3800 H something. What is it? Where's the name of it? I'm pretty sure there's a flashlight on this. Where is it? Nope, can't figure it out. It's a Denon something. But it's a 11.1 channel receiver with Dolby Atmos and everything else. So that's the basement setup. You know, a lot more space than the other house. This is about 1,000 square feet. I think it's 998 square feet down here. So I got a ton of room to, you know, do more later on. Like I said, I want to take all these and maybe run them along the center back to back. So I can walk on one side, see all the Sega stuff, go on the other side, see more Sega stuff. Keep shelves over here for more things as I get more stuff. But again, like we're going to be here for a long time. So there's tons of space to grow into it, add more of the collection, and, you know, really make it stand out. Because again, I want to add art all up here and different memorabilia and stuff, more pictures like this. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how it progresses over time, because I did a lot with the other house in the 3 years we were there, and I really made it like a fun, attractive space using what I had, considering it was an unfinished basement. So here, having all this, like, it's very good groundwork to start from, and I'm super excited. Well, that's going to be it. That'll be the tour for 2024. Thanks for watching.